So today I'm showing you how I make my version of Thanksgiving stuffing. It has Chinese sausage in it. This is what I make every year, what the kids want. We start out with celery and onions. These are canned water chestnuts. I use sliced, you can use whole, whatever. We're going to chop them up. And I use Lup Cheong, which is Chinese sausage. And this is dried cured sausage. Most of the ones from the United States come from Canada. Vancouver makes some of the best in the world. And it's dried. It doesn't have to be kept in the fridge. It's like this. And I also use any kind of stuffing they have. This is what I buy. I'm not sure. This is what I buy usually from Sam's Club because I buy whatever happens to be a good deal at the time, and this is a good deal. Herb seasoned stuffing. I really like the ones that are cut in cubes. This one is not, but it does for what I want. So I'm going to chop this all up, then show you how the size pieces I cut up, and give you some kind of measurements. And then we're going to put it all together, and I'm going to show you how I make my stuffing. So let me know. So like I said, this is the Lup Cheong, which is Chinese sausage. It's cured and dried. You open it up. It's going to be pretty greasy inside. Sometimes they're stuck together. They usually come like this. They're pretty firm, hard, and dried. But they're not so hard that you can't cut them with a fork. Kind of like a dried chorizo or a salami is how they are. So I'm going to take these apart. I'm going to cut them down the center and then slice them up into slices. And then I'll show you when everything's all chopped up. Okay, we good? Mm-hmm. Okay, so everything's chopped up and ready. Oh, good. Hold on here. This is the water chestnut. I just chopped it up, diced it up. Not really fine. It's not really minced, but into small pieces like this. This is 2 cans. The Lup Cheong, by the way, if you've never had Lup Cheong, it is on the sweet side. It's on the sweet and savory side. It is very, very, there's pieces of fat in it, as you can see. You can take it and steam it, slice it up and steam it, or we just take the whole link and throw it in the rice when we cook the rice and let it cook while we cook the rice. But I sliced it lengthwise down the long way, and then I cut it into about 1/4 inch sections. So this is the whole package. And tomorrow we'll saute these before we throw them into the stuffing mix. And then I just diced up the onions, and I diced up the celery. And we use about a 1-to-1 mixture. You can just slice up the celery if you like. Even if you don't like celery. I don't like celery very much. There's only a couple things I like it in, stuffing, and I don't mind it when you cook it into like chicken soup and stuff like that, but other than that I don't do celery. But I use a mixture of half and half. You want to make sure you have enough vegetables to make sure that the stuffing is going to stay moist. The chicken broth we're going to add is going to add to that, but you can add, you can do carrots, just dice them very fine. You could probably even do mushrooms if you would like. But I use basically celery and onions and the water chestnuts. I have used this to make sausage stuffing, regular like Italian sausage. I've used it to make regular chestnut stuffing, and I've used the same recipe to make oyster stuffing also. So we're going to put all these away. This is prepped for tomorrow, so it'll be fast. And then tomorrow I will show you how we put it all together, and we'll bake it, and I'll show you the end product. Okay, so it's Thanksgiving Day, and we are going to finish up our stuffing. Our turkey is in the oven, desserts are all made, and we're going to show you how we finish up the stuffing. So first of all, I showed you the box of stuffing yesterday, and these are 2 bags out of there. It comes with 3 bags. We're going to use 2 of them. And just this kind of bread stuffing. Like I said, I really like the cubes. The cubes are harder to find. And so this works too. So either one, whether you want to use this or you want to use the cubes. We make a lot of stuffing because the kids like a lot of stuffing. Okay. So there we go. Wow. This bowl may not even be big enough. I'm going to, this one's already seasoned, but I'm going to add some poultry seasoning to it. I always do. I like the taste of the sage and stuff. So maybe about a teaspoon per bag, because this is actually pretty much a double recipe. So if there's, you don't need this as much. A teaspoon, teaspoon and a half per bag. More if you like more. Mix it up just a little bit. Now, yesterday we cut up the celery and the onions into small pieces. In this bag, there's 3.5 cups of celery, 3.5 cups of onion, more or less. Half and half. You can do it whatever ratio you like. If you like more onion, if you like more celery. I'm going to eye this up and let you know about how much we use. All up really well again. And you don't want to skimp too much on the veggies, because the veggies help to add moisture to the stuffing. And even though we're going to add some more stuff in, some more chicken broth and butter and stuff in ourselves, the veggies still act a lot. Plus they give it a lot of texture. So it's not just mushy. You get a little bit of crunchy bits to it. And I think it still needs some more. And like I said, you can use carrots if you want. I've never tried it with carrots, but I'm sure you could just cut them very small. You could try chopped up mushrooms. And I'm sure a lot of other squash you could probably put in here too. Although they might not have as much texture. I mean, zucchini and stuff wouldn't have much texture, but it would help with the moisture content. Okay, this looks like it may be good. Get it all mixed up. Sometimes I forget pockets of. Okay. I probably used. There were 7 cups. I probably used 6 cups, so 3 cups per bag of whatever mixed stuff you want to use. So 6 cups total is what I used of the onion and the celery. I normally don't even measure. I normally just eyeball everything. So this is 2 cups, no, sorry, 2 cans, little small tuna looking cans of chopped water chestnuts. And I love this. Doesn't add much of a taste, but it gives it a really nice texture, really nice crunch in there. And then this is 1 package of that Chinese sausage, the Lup Cheong. We divided it in half lengthwise and cut it up into 1/4 inch slices, so they came out little half moons like this. And then we just sauteed them up real briefly, very briefly in a frying pan before we're adding it in. And we add in everything, the oil and everything. Oops, forgot a couple pieces. This Chinese sausage, Lup Cheong, you might find it in the refrigerator section of your local Asian store. You might, it might be on the shelves because it is shelf stable until you open it up. It's dry cured sausage. If you are in the States, a lot of it comes from Canada, from Vancouver especially. Which I think I said yesterday, but evidently Vancouver's got the perfect climate and temperature for making the sausage. Okay. This is my biggest bowl, and it almost is not big enough. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add, I don't add any salt because the broth has a lot of salt in it already. If you want, you could, or if you're using low sodium or homemade broth. This is 2 sticks, 1 cup of butter, melted. Mix that up really good too. The next thing I'm going to do is take some chicken broth. This happens to be, 48 ounces. We're going to put about half of this in to start. Mix it up a little bit. Mix it up in between so that you kind of spread the wetness around so everything gets kind of dosed. A little bit more. And I like to put enough in so that if it's really mixed up well, you're going to notice it's starting to clump up a little bit sometimes. It's not so powdery and breadcrumb looking anymore. Into a pan, a baking pan. This is a 9 by 13 or 9, no, it's 9 by 13 or 9 by 15. You can stick this in a bird if you want to. Just you don't need to add all the chicken broth in here. And don't pack it in there. Just put it in lightly. I don't because it adds time to the bird, and I think it sucks all the moisture out of the bird, and the breast meat doesn't come out as the breast meat doesn't come out as moist if I put the stuffing in there. Of course, the stuffing tastes a lot better. I mean, because it's got all the juice from the bird in it, but just put that on the stove for now. And then what I do, wow, is I pour some more juice over the top. And then I cover it tightly with foil and put it in a 350 to 400 degree oven. If you want to put it in with your turkey, that's fine. And bake it for at least an hour. Make sure the stuffing temperature comes to, the stuffing is hot in the middle after an hour. It might take an hour and a half. But leave it covered with foil because then the stuffing will steam. And I made enough. It will fill this.
Alexa, stop.
I made enough and it'll fill this and this pan usually too. Because even though there's just the three of us, my kids love the stuffing.
Let's see.
So again, put it into, cover it with foil, put it into a 350 to 400 degree oven for about an hour to an hour and a half until it gets hot. Check it in the middle. It should be hot and the veggies should be crisp tender. Or if you want them really soft, then cook it a little bit longer. And if it's really dry, you can always add some more chicken broth to it. Making homemade mashed potatoes with the lumps, because homemade mashed potatoes should have lumps. Red potatoes mashed up. Now we're going to put some cream in there. And now we're going to mix it up. Film that. I added a little bit of salt and pepper already. And there we go, mashed potatoes. So we have taken the stuffing out of the oven. It took about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half. And I did add more, poured a little bit more chicken broth on top when I checked it. And it's, and it looks like it's pretty good now. A little more wet than what it usually is, but you know what? In the middle, we just stir it up a little bit. It's a little more wet in the middle, but if that's the case and you don't like it, the edges are usually drier. So either take from the edges or just stir it up a little bit. Now we're going to make our plates. Gravy back there, and yes, we have a whole lot of gravy. The kids like a lot of gravy with theirs. Mashed potatoes in the blue pot. And we got our turkey cut up. We got our turkey cut up here. Dark meat on the board. And we are about to eat. I must have forgotten to film the rest. The stuffing was perfect. We have half a pan in the freezer for later on. I put the measurements in the description below. It really is easy to make, but so good. It would not be Thanksgiving in our house without it. Is there a dish that is a must-have for your holiday dinners? Let us know in the comments. Thank you for joining us today. For more recipes and reviews, hit that subscribe button. Be safe in your journeys, and we hope you come back to see us again soon.